What's good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this I'm going to break down what's going on with Tesla stock and what you should be watching for going forward. I'm also going to talk about what's going on with SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and just a couple of tickers. And now, before I break anything down about all this information, let me just mention a couple of things. Firstly, I am not a financial planner. Make sure you take none of this as financial advice. And don't forget about the Moomoo link. The offer ends very soon. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks with a $100 cash reward. The offer ends in just one day, so check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. Anyways, when it comes to Tesla, this thing was currently just a little bit in the red right now. You can see Tesla's cooling off a little bit on the 5-minute time frame. If we actually close our current support levels, we're going to be looking at the 30 minutes time frame and see support right here at the 200 EMA, which is holding Tesla up. It's just at about 254 around that zone, very close to that. That's where Tesla's trying to be held up right now. If it breaks below this, if it does get a clean break below this, it could sink all the way down to 252.5, potentially 250 after that. But if it bounces off this, we have some resistance now around this like 256 area. It's very choppy, very sideways. And a break above that could help Tesla make its way closer to almost 258. So it's very tight. We have like 257.5 to 258 as resistance. Break above that, and this thing has some potential to try to get up to almost 260. The most important resistance on Tesla is going to be 260. Watch 260 very carefully, because if Tesla breaks 260, it has a lot of potential to push up even more. If it breaks 260 tomorrow, especially, we could see this thing push all the way up to about 266 and potentially 270 as well before deliveries. But confirmation of a bullish breakout needs to show us a break above 260. So watch Tesla very carefully around there. As of right now, it's kind of choppy, so just be careful. And anyways, let's talk about something else. Now, looking at SPY, SPY right now is still kind of sideways, not really doing a whole lot. It is breaking down right now, getting very close to our 50 EMA. If that breaks, the next major support is going to be close to this mid to low, like 435 area, which is where our 200 EMA happens to be, or very close to it. That's going to be the next support if this one breaks, so watch that carefully. If we get a break up, you're going to be watching resistance around 437.75 to about 438. Break 438 in a strong manner. This thing can fly all the way up to the gap fill at 439 to 440. For now, we're not really there. We're just trading very sideways. We are slowing down a little bit on the 30 minutes time frame, so just be very, very cautious for now. And be ready for tomorrow. We're going to see what happens with PCE data, which is going to affect the markets. So just be patient. We will see how this goes, but watch these levels very carefully. AMD has some potential on its hand. It has broken below the 30 minutes 50 EMA right over here. So for the people who are trying to play puts, I mean, it's very late to enter on puts right here. Just want to warn you. But if it breaks below this 110 support, you're going to be watching this thing get closer to 108 or so. For Netflix, this thing is very flat. For the time being, it is below the 50 EMA. If it keeps dropping, watch 426 as support at our 200 EMA right about here. The 30-minute time frame is looking a little bit more bearish on Netflix, but it's trying to base just about here. So once again, it's very, very flat right now, but it's looking a little bit more bearish overall. For the QQQ, this is also looking a little bit weaker. We have to look at, I believe it's like the 5-minute for support. Actually, it's the 1 hour. The 1 hour support is very close to where this 200 EMA happens to be, just around 362. We're going to be watching that very carefully. If that breaks, this thing has potential to sink all the way down to 360. We're going to be watching this very carefully nonetheless. For Coinbase, this is also looking pretty weak. Last time I checked it, this was a very good short, especially at the 74 level, because it formed a nice double top right over here, got a nice rejection exactly at where resistance was. If it continues sinking, we could see this thing get closer to about 68, but this is not the best short entry. I think it's closer to like up here. It is close to support. We're getting closer to like 70, so the previous support above that would be like 71.8. Still is not looking that great, as the dollar is up too. The dollar is up to about 103.31, up 0.39%. That is a bearish signal for the markets. Aapl is very flat right now. If it does break down, you're going to be watching support around this 188.5 level. If it breaks below 189, then we have 187.5 and potentially 186 after that. For now, Aapl is holding up, but it is looking a little bit weaker on these time frames. On the 30 minutes time frame, it's trying to hold above 189, this 50 EMA, but it may test this very soon. It could even break below it if it continues to downtrend just a little bit. So just watch that very carefully. The major resistance has been 190. It hasn't been able to break it just yet. It's getting very, very tight. Nvda, unfortunately, broke below our 50 EMA. That was a bearish signal. So this is a very clean shorting opportunity if you actually watch it. We basically broke below the 50 EMA, came back up for a back test. This was a very good short entry because it failed once again to hold this, and then it just continued to drop down to our next level, which was around the 406 area. I called this out in the morning. That 406 zone was very important. And if it continues to sink, we have 401 coming. So be careful on Nvda, but it could bounce tomorrow depending on what happens with PCE. Google is also looking a little bit red right now, very similar to Nvda. It came down, got a back test, and it's continuing to sink. We could see 119 try to be tested. If that breaks, watch 117. Where Amazon, same thing happened. We got a back test of the 200 this time, and now it came all the way down to 127. We also have this imbalance way back here where our 125 level is. If it breaks below 127, I'm going to be watching that. But for now, support is holding at 127.25, so watch that carefully. And last but not least, for Meta, this is continuing to downtrend. If it breaks below 280, you're going to be watching 276 to 277 next. That's going to be very carefully. That's going to be very important. Excuse me. Be very careful if it breaks below 280. All right, so that's what I have for this video. I want to just give you guys a very quick update on some of these levels to watch for. The market's looking a little bit weaker right now, but things could always change tomorrow depending on how things go, because you have to remember that even yesterday we were at a lower level on SPY, very similar levels. And we still saw this thing try to push up. On the bigger time frame, technically, okay, we have not fully, actually, let me use the 1 hour for this. We have not fully invalidated the 1 hour inverse head and shoulder on SPY. We have not really invalidated this just yet. This is still valid. So there is a chance it might try to rebound and fill this gap up here, get very close to 440. There's a possibility, but we need confirmation through a break and hold of 438. If it does that, it has potential to keep going. If not, I'd be very cautious. Anyways, thank you all for listening. I'll see you guys very soon for the final video of the day, a little bit later on. And until then, please remain calm, cool, and collected and watch all of these levels very carefully. Please know that what happens today does not guarantee anything for tomorrow. And I will talk more a little bit later. So thank you for listening. Have an absolutely spectacular rest of the day. Remember to hunt and not chase after different trades and different plays out there, because chasing is once again an action that kind of like kills discipline for a lot of trading individuals. And you need to be very patient with your trades, okay? Be very conscientious, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you. Tesla in the market to the moon, as the long term is still incredibly bright. And peace out.